Told our players before the game started today that basically, we all knew that yesterday was frustrating, but everybody would judge them more so of how they responded to it. And I was extremely proud of the way they responded today. It was very difficult to come out and lose your opener, especially when there was so much excitement coming around this tournament. But when something like that happens, you've got to think about what's next. And fortunately for us, we had a game the very next day where we could make up for it. Sometimes you've got to wait 2-3 days or a week, but we had the opportunity the very next day, and I really am proud of the way our team responded today. I thought Inma Thanagara had a monster game. Stephanie Recker had a double-double, but to have so many kids in double figures, and also, even though it's 65 or 67.5% from the free throw line, I'll take that compared to yesterday's percentage any day. And I still think we can be a lot better than that. I don't think it's unrealistic to think this team eventually could be an 80% free throw per shooting percentage team. I can't talk today. But I do. I think we're that good at free throw shooters. I think a lot of it's mental at this point. And I'm just glad to see us shoot as well as we did. Inma led the charge. She was 10 for 10 the first half from the free throw line. But to see all the rest of the kids step up with a little bit more confidence really paid dividends for us today.
Questions?
What do you expect out of Stephanie this year? It looked like in the second half her energy really picked up a little bit.
Yeah. I think yesterday she was pretty frustrated, and I think the main thing is she needs to be a go-to shooter for us. And I thought she did that, but the thing that she's also capable of doing, just because she's 6'1", is sneaking in and getting rebounds. Everything that you're seeing Inma do as she's exploding the basket and creating more opportunities for us, Steph can do the same. And Steph did a good job driving a couple times today, too. I just think finding scoring opportunities for Steph is going to be paramount for our team to be successful, in addition to the fact that she's become a better defender. And when she can rebound the way she did today, then it really opens up some things for everybody else, because if she's getting them on the offensive end, it's another possession for us. If she's getting them on the defensive end, now we can get out and run. But it's nice, in that we're short on posts right now, it's nice to know we've got a 6'1" wing that can help us out a little bit.
When you guys went over some of the things that went wrong yesterday, what were some of the biggest things that you said, okay, here's what we're doing wrong, here's what we have to change, and how did that go today for you guys?
Right. Well, we watched, to be honest, even if we had won yesterday, we would have done this. But we watch a highlight and a low light every game, no matter what, win or lose. We've always done that. And so this morning at 8:30, we watched last game first. And a lot of it was just, we lost sight a lot, either of our man or the ball. Now, obviously, it's a different offense. We're not going against the same thing, so it's hard to know if it's completely fixed. It's probably not. But I will say that our effort, intensity, and our desire to stay tuned in to what was most important, I thought was there today. We were helping our teammates a little bit better. Yesterday, I think there were too many times when the ball drove, and maybe only the person that was guarding the ball knew it was being driven, because we were so caught up in the screening action weak side. Today, I thought we did a much better job. And even though some of those charges were called blocking fouls, I love the fact that we've got different kids rotating over, willing to put their body in Herm's way to get another possession, or to draw a foul on the opponent. So I don't have a problem with those. I think the thing is, they're trying to do the right thing, and that's stop dribble penetration. The kid that's driving is going to think again before she drives, because she knows it was a close call. And so those are things we did a lot better. Thought free throw percentage was a lot better. I thought we concentrated more. We didn't just get up and get a little nervous. We actually stepped up there with some confidence, and that was something that was an easy fix. We have good shooters. They just needed to step up with some confidence. But I think those two things in particular, and then just communication defensively, making sure. Now, we still got to get better at that. Transition today, you still saw some opportunities where they got loose, and we've got to fix that. But I like the fact that no matter who we subbed in, we still had great intensity, and we didn't lose a lot.
You have a hard time finding low lights from this game to show you?
I think I'll find those transition defensive clips. But other than that, I'm very proud of the way that we hustled, shared the ball, shot the ball. There's a lot of good things. I still think, too, we're a better three-point shooting team than what we've shown, and that'll come in time. But it was nice to see us be effective against the zone, as yesterday I was a little frustrated with that. But I do think we've got an inexperienced team, and the more experiences they can have in game situations, the better.
What's the most points a team has scored under you?
I don't remember.
Brian said.
Absolutely.
It was?
Absolutely.
You talked about the various talents offensively that this team has, and maybe a better offensive team that you have. It is now about bringing the defense, trying to get that to the same level.
Yeah, I would agree. And, we saw strides in that today. There were times against Drexel that we were a little bit flat on defense instead of being up the line where we should have been. So that lane line looks a little bit more open to drive. And today, I didn't have to remind them as much. They knew. And after a couple reminders, good things were happening. And I do think that, unfortunately, it's kind of like a little kid in a hot stove. You say, don't touch it, it's hot. And they walk over and they touch it. Well, same thing with young players on your team. You'd say don't do something, but until they do it in a game and learn that it's really bad, they're going to do it. And they just don't know. Well, that first game they learned a lot of things that were hot stove issues for us. And they're starting to grow. And I do think because it was a painful lesson, they're going to fix it a lot quicker. Not that I ever want to take a loss, but I'll be honest, that loss taught our team more than maybe a win would have.
And what made that big jump from year 1 to year 2, and before the season started, you said she's improved even more. What are some of those areas?
I just think her maturity. In the past, if something went wrong, you might see her kind of have a few moments where she just wasn't there mentally. Now she's on to the next play, and I think because she's really taking her role as a captain seriously, that she knows she can't have moments where she's frustrated with herself, because if she is, how's she going to be a great leader? She's constantly looking around. Things, if you can tell, when she's on the floor, things work a little bit easier, because she's communicating, she's leading, she's showing by example how to be on the court. And I just think that's a maturity level that's going to take her game to a whole nother level. Plus, showing by example. Today we talked about what was important, and she led by example. Free throws were important. You look at her stat line, 12 for 12. She's showing the team by example, hey, this is important, and you better follow my lead. And the kids that missed, I'm sure she said something to them.
Do you kind of put Janelle in the same boat as Stephanie?
Yes, I do. She's learning. Janelle played maybe 5-10 minutes a game, maybe 15, 20 if we were in foul trouble last year, but really no more than that. Janelle's having to learn how to fight through fatigue and be disciplined. When she was tired during the Drexel game, she made some poor decisions defensively that cost us threes. Reaching, jumping out of the defense, and then someone had to help her, and then they hit a three. Those are costly. And after watching film this morning, I think that she really took heed to that. You didn't see Janelle jumping out of the defense a lot today. She really played smart defense. And I think she's realizing how much, especially now with 8 players, how much we need her to play disciplined.
Anything else?